Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this morning briefing webinar. I hope everyone has a good trading week so far. Today is Wednesday. We are in the middle of this week. Some news events, of course, they came early this morning during the Asian session. We're going to go through. But before we continue, just to make sure that you can clearly see the disclaimer, the risk warning, and let me walk you through. Let me walk you through the next screen. So for those who join us for second time, guys, this is our Telegram channel. I will copy and paste you the address so you can follow us on Telegram, and with this way you will never miss any information we put in about what's going on in the markets or with events, webinars, live streams, and so on and so forth. Okay, that's the first one. Then we have the Instagram account, which we put all the reals rare and the stories, everything related to trading. So it's a very useful, very useful channel for every trader. And last one, we have the Admirals Global YouTube channel. For those who are watching us through Zoom, here is the YouTube channel. For those who are watching us through the live stream on the YouTube, I think it's not necessary to to send it again. So when you go to the channel, guys, here you're going to see the main page. You scroll down, and on the trading spotlight, you're going to see the webinars we put about more education stuff. You scroll a little bit to the downside, and you're going to find all the live trading stream events I host from now on a daily basis, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays. And you can find the recordings here in case you missed it. Okay. And we appreciate any thumbs up and likes on the videos if you haven't subscribed on the YouTube channel yet. Good morning, Winnie. Good morning, Ernest. Thanks for joining us. So let's start with news for the day. As we said, today is Wednesday. The first news came from Australia early this morning. We have the GDP growth rate for the quarter and for the year. For the quarter, Australia GDP was a little bit down. Forecast was 1%, actual 0.9%, but they had a bit of growth for the year, so 3.6%. Later on, and then the trade balance in China, 19 billion expected, 79 the outcome. Major event, it's going to be later on in the US session with the Bank of Canada announcing their interest rate number. So currently they have their interest rates on 2.5%. They are aiming for 75 basis point raise to 3.25%. On some newspaper earlier this week, I was reading 3.5%. Now they maybe readjusted. So anyhow, we will see what the number will be. It's a big jump. It's not a small jump, but the actual will determine if the Canadian dollar will perform well against the rest of the currencies. And this information only it's going to be visible on the chart after the announcement. Okay. Remember, if you are trading on intraday, this event alone, guys, it's going to bring so much volatility, and I will encourage you to avoid trading cross pairs with the Canadian dollar, because all these spikes, it's going to come into the market. Sometimes it doesn't work to have our money on the table and risk only for a particular event alone, because at many times the market is just going to the opposite direction before it's going to snap to the original direction where it wants to go. So, and it flushes out our stop losses orders and all this stuff. So it's better if we are smart traders to manage our risks around these events. Next, let's have a look at the Premium Analytics morning briefing headlines. China export growth slowed in August. SEC warned Chinese companies about risks of auditor changes. Conflict surveys paint mixed picture of services providers. Investors are powering into US stocks to avoid greater turbulence overseas. Zambia requests 8.4 billion in debt relief from foreign creditors. Ukraine seeks a corridor to evacuate civilians near Zaporizhia nuclear plant. And Solvay to cut waste from soda anti-plant in Italy after criticism. So let's go straight to the charts. All righty, let's start as usual with the pound. Guys, please take some time to let me know if you are watching some pairs, if you have currently in your checklist. Ernest, please, good morning. Hello, good morning. How can I get the checklist, please? I think, guys, I will, with the checklist I share, because I have it on some PowerPoint presentation, which it's on the YouTube channel, but towards the end, you're going to give me a couple of minutes to just find it and make it in a PDF format so I can share it with everyone later on or maximum tomorrow. Okay, sorry for that. It just needs some preparation in order to give you separate the checklist. Okay, I have to extract it from the PowerPoint presentation. Thanks for understanding. Now, pound pushed to the downside. We are in a downtrend, as we can clearly see from this chart. We said that at this point here, maybe buyers, they're going to step in and they're going to push the price to the upside. And we're going to see new higher highs and higher lows in the market. This didn't happen. Yesterday, we had this bearish pin bar from the EMA, 9 EMA, 9 period exponential moving average. If we zoom in a little bit, we can see that the market got rejected again. Because we are right at support, maybe we can see some double bottoms on the lower time frames on the 4-hour chart. Yeah, and on the 4-hour chart, we have this rejection with a pin bar. Previous rejection was a bullish engulfing, but again, we are still in a downtrend. We are in a very, very, very bearish market. So we don't want to start buying reversals like that. And guys, I will tell you something that I believe many traders, they are getting confused around the subject of reversals. For many of you, you are constantly watching the webinars and maybe some other webinars as well. And you hear traders all the time. They talk about reversals. They talk about retracements. Sometimes many of you, you have the question, how can I identify the reversal and how can I identify the retracement? And how to play with these scenarios around. If we take the example of this British pound US dollar pair, we can see that the market on the higher time frames, the daily, the weekly charts, which these are the leading higher time frames for price action traders, like us here, we want to see the direction from the higher time frame. The direction, let's say, on this particular pair, it's down. When the trend is a downtrend, if we go to the 4-hour chart, on the 1-hour chart, and we want to position ourselves with the downtrend, we can find these reversal patterns like double tops, And this is a good enough reason to execute and sell. But this reversal pattern, a double bottom, indicates reversal to the upside. Okay. But what's the issue with that? The issue is that the daily and the weekly, they are in a downtrend. And now we see a reversal pattern on the 4-hour chart. Now, this reversal pattern on the 4-hour chart, at first and foremost, it can be the retracement on the daily chart. I'll repeat that again. The reversal pattern on the 4-hour chart as the daily and the weekly, here is the daily. The daily is down. It's a clear downtrend. The reversal part on the 4-hour chart does not indicate necessarily that it's going to reverse the daily and the weekly downtrend to an uptrend. Most likely, this reversal pattern, it's going to lead for the daily and the weekly chart to some sort of minor retracement. Now, at many occasions, we see double bottoms like this to create and change directions on the daily and the weekly chart. But this is the minority of the cases. Okay, most of the times, first we see retracements on the higher time frames from a lower time frame reversal, and then we see these higher highs and higher lows on the lower time frame, and then we say, okay, we are good to go and start buying. So try to avoid this sort of reversals when the daily and the weekly chart are very, very impulse in one direction, particularly here. Now it's in a downtrend. But if you observe this scenario here, this one here, we have a double top, which is a bearish reversal pattern. We have a double top on the 4-hour chart, which indicates that sellers can take control. The daily and the weekly, they are downtrends. So this double top here can be utilized as a confirmation for the continuation of the trend of the daily or the weekly chart. Guys, this is a key point in your trading journey. Trust me on that. If you understand this really well, where to use the reversal patterns on the lower time frames in your advantage, it's going to really, really, really outperform your trading results. So better to use the reversals on the lower time frames to get us into trades aligned with the daily, with the higher time frames, whatever it's your higher time frame. All right. So I hope this makes sense. Let's move on. So we are still bearish here. However, we are right on this support, and we want to see what it's going to happen. If it's going to be a reaction on the daily chart, and we can see buying activity and target this level here, or if we're going to break below and just move to the downside. Let's go to the Euro US dollar. On the daily chart, we have here the market pushing to the downside. We have this support here. We are still around this support. We haven't clearly closed with a strong bearish price action, like I will show you other pairs like the Kiwi below the support. So it's a bit unclear right now to start selling. On yesterday's webinar, I mentioned that if the price on the 4-hour chart, it's going to come somewhere to the 50% FIB retracement, which it retests clearly this area here with this tail rejection. We can start selling, but right now we are sitting around this. We had this rejection around this lowest point. So we don't know what it's gonna do yet, if it's gonna push back and then continue to the downside. So that was a good trade. If you were around this one, we talked specifically about this one here. And with the checklist, I'm gonna share it with you again, guys. You will see that it matches really well. Okay. So let's move to the USD yen. We are very bullish on the USD Japanese yen. We said that we are looking for any sort of price action on the 4-hour, 1-hour chart, some retracement at least to allow us to participate in this move instead of just trying and rush around the price. So we are still bullish here. We are looking for long positions. USD CHF, still we are looking for long. Remember, guys, we mentioned yesterday about these two price action pattern, and on the 4-hour chart, we had this bullish, nice bullish momentum, which could be utilized to initiate buy positions. I didn't take this, to be honest, because I was expecting a strong close above this high here as price action trader. So I didn't participate with that. Remember, we are waiting for the price to reach this level until we see what possibly can happen later. Australian dollar, US dollar, we are still bearish. Remember, from the beginning of the week, we said this is the most clear pair to trade to the downside. And you saw yesterday, you noticed yesterday that the interest rates, they didn't help for this pair to get some strength. It's just selling off like crazy. It shows the weakness in this market. So we are still in a downtrend. Any pullbacks on the 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart around this area here, they will be good to take us to the short side. New Zealand US dollar, the Kiwi finally broke below this support. Unfortunately, many traders, they got caught in this bullish engulfing candle. They thought that, okay, we're going to start buying here. But as I said, guys, it's very, very weak New Zealand dollar. It's very, very strong US dollar. So better we wait for a clear break below here. So, and I hope nobody got involved to the upside with this, or especially with this bullish engulfing here. So we are looking for shorts. And specifically, I would like to see a retest here and to enter in the market. Euro Aussie. Yesterday we said, because we didn't see selling pressure to come into the market, we are around resistance, but sellers, they don't look like they are here. We are waiting for buyers to continue their buying activity. A close above this high, we said it's going to be good to initiate long positions. We are still waiting. There are so many spikes here. You see this one, this one, this one, this one. All of them, they can hide limit orders to the downside. So we better wait for a clear direction. We have pairs. We said so far the USD JPY, it's good for retracements to buy it. The USD Swiss, the Aussie USD to the downside. New Zealand, it's the clearest to the downside. We want to sell these pairs here with retracement, night retracements. Gold, we said yesterday that the price, and we marked it here, that we can wait for the price to reach this level here and look for some shorts. On the 4-hour chart, we didn't have any price action. Maybe on the 1-hour chart, no, we didn't have any strong price action to take us to the downside. But on the daily chart, we have this nice bearish engulfing, which can be used to initiate short positions. However, if you measure the distance between the entry and the stop, it's not even give us 1-to-1 until the price can retest this level down here. So I wouldn't like to get involved with that because it's a low probability trade. Regardless if it's going to play out well, I prefer to sell the Aussie USD and the Kiwi. Aussie Canadian dollar, another very clear pair. Someone mentioned yesterday about the completion of the head and shoulders. Definitely now we completed the head and shoulders. We see that the market around the London opening is just trying to push for a retracement. On the 4-hour chart, we can keep an eye on this at this area here. Let's mark it. So we have this area here. It matches as well. That's the last swing. If we draw the fib from high to low, it's in between the 50 and 61.8%, which it's an ideal area to look for price action. Or if you trading like this, I can show you how to place limit orders. So if we want, let's say, to get into without waiting for price action, and we want to get into the market, if the price touches this area here, we can simply go to tools, new order. We can go for a pending order because we want to sell in anticipation of the price coming here. We want to do the sell limit. Let's say we measure the distance between, let's say we have 51 points, 52 points. In this case, we have to calculate the lot size, but let's say you know your number. Let's say that you are risking 1% or 2% per trade. And in this case, for example, you use 0.1 up 0.01%. For me, it's something a bit more with 50 pips. I know out of my head, it's about 0.2%. So the price you want to get into is this one here, which is 88.98. Why doesn't work like this? Okay, 0.8898. Stop loss, we want it to be at 89.51. $81 and take profit. Let's say we want it to be 88.35. So it's 0.8835. Expiration, we just here place. So here it's the order. If you want to just get filled without watching the price action, if you don't care about the price action, and you want, if the price comes here to get you into the short side, you can do that one. You put your stop in place, you put your take profit, and you let the trade run. Okay. Or let's say if you want to get filled when the price it's going to come exactly at 61.8%, you can do that as well, and you can just rearrange your take profit and your entry. This one gives you more than 1 to 1, 1.5 to 1. Okay, however you would like to do it. It's just suggestions, and it's not something I'm saying you have to do it. Okay, it's just the general suggestions and how the limit orders works. Let's have a look at the DAX. We are still in a downtrend with the DAX. The market doesn't show any buying pressure, so we are approaching this level here. The 4-hour start going some sideways. We didn't make a new low here. We made an equal low, so we wait to see what the market is going to do. but for now, we don't have any clearance in this pair. Okay. Bitcoin, finally, we broke through this last few weeks indecision around the 20K mark. We retested this level here. So that was the room of opportunity on the lower time frames. But we saw the price just moving in one impulse to the downside. It didn't give us any sort of room to get involved, some retracements. Now we are around this strong level here. If we're going to break below, we're going to try to capitalize until we come to this area here, which is this low point, 17.5. Euro, pound. Yesterday, we talked about that, and I said to you guys that the market can retrace back to this level. We noted this level on our charts. On the 4-hour chart, we didn't have a price action to take us to the upside, but if you would like to place your limit orders, you could have a limit order here, your stops wherever you think it's appropriate. Usually the stops, they go below the swings, but at this market, the swing is so far away from the entry point, which it doesn't make it that lucrative opportunity. USD Canadian dollar, we are trading strongly around this area here. We can see some reaction around the news events, definitely. So I wouldn't rush to sell anything aggressively with this double top. We see the double top formation here. I wouldn't like to sell it because everything is bullish for the US dollar, and I wouldn't allow a single news event to determine solely the outcome of any particular trade I'm trading. I like to see clear trades like this one here, broke below, retest, good to go. Kiwi, today we broke below, any rejection around here, perfect, we're gonna sell. But here to start selling because of this resistance in such a strong US dollar, it's not very smart in my opinion. And only we see that Japanese yen has so much weakness in general in the market, and what we can observe from this chart here is that buyers are very strongly in demand. Everything started from these higher highs and higher lows. Then we had this double bottom reversal aligned with a daily uptrend, bullish engulfing, good to go. If you miss that, bullish engulfing, good to go. Target this level here. We broke above. We are still bullish. The next area of resistance is at these levels here. So on the weekly chart, so we have this room to move. Any pullbacks on the 4-hour, on the 1-hour chart, they are very welcome to get us to the upside. Guys, any pair you would like to have a look? Crude oil, we saw on the daily chart some sort of higher highs here, but this bearish engulfing, as we mentioned on last week's webinar, could be trigger nice trades to the downside to retest this level here. Now we are sitting around this area, so we have to wait for the price. That's the 85. That's exactly the $85 per barrel. So we're going to wait for the price to show us what it's going to do. Ideally, we want to see a break below in a line with a nice downtrend, a strong downtrend, so we can start looking for sales. And the next possible area, it's going to be this one here, the 66 $. So we're gonna wait what it's gonna happen today, tomorrow maybe, and then if we're gonna break below, that will be fantastic. We're gonna go to the 4-hour charts, 1-hour charts, and it's gonna be a great opportunity to trade all the way to the downside. Let's have a look at the pound Swiss from David. On the weekly chart, we are still bearish. On the daily chart, we see more buying candles instead of bearish candles. So we expected some sort of retracements, definitely. As you can see, I have a lot of limit orders here. So, but if we're going to stay for a long time without a strong retracement, it means that the buyers, they are not in very controlling this market. So we're gonna most likely see the sellers taking control, okay? Because if the buyers, they were strong and they wanted to lift the prices higher, they could have done it here, they could have done it there, they could have done it here, but it's been 3 weeks and we don't see any major buying activity. So far, it looks like that this market is just going nowhere. On the 4-hour chart, you can see if we map a little bit this market with some lines. We have this structure here. If I zoom out, you can see it a bit better. On the 4-hour chart, this is the structure. It's like gradually we are making lower highs and lower lows, but in very inconsistent swing points. So I want to wait for a clear price movement. And we saw many pairs that they have clarity today and for the next day, so we can focus on those. Okay, guys, Ernest, please make sure you join tomorrow, and I will share the checklist, please. Or from tomorrow onwards, I will share the checklist because I need to prepare it first for you. As I said earlier, I need to extract it from the PowerPoint presentation. And guys, thank you so much for watching today. It will be a pleasure to spend this time with you and go through the markets. I wish you a good day, a happy trading, and I will see you tomorrow morning at the same time. Thank you so much.